Hi Aries, welcome your monthly reading for the month of March. So I guess we can get started. So let's see what is up with you in the month of March. What kind of energy is coming in? And we have a Wheel of Fortune reversed. Okay, what else is coming in the March? Main energy for Aries. We have the Six of Pentacles, we have the Five of Cups reversed, and the Fool reversed for the main energy for Aries. Okay, so what I'm basically seeing at the beginning is there's something blocking the new cycle, I would say. Something blocking the change, but I feel like it's mostly you blocking it. This new thing coming in that tries to come in, this kind of change, this new beginning. And I feel like mostly what is it is this something from the past that you lost and you're still not able to overcome it. And this is what is blocking you from starting this new beginning. Or you are still holding on to this loss and hoping this thing will kind of be able to be recovered or something like that. Let's get one more card of clarification maybe. Let's get clarification on the Six of Pentacles in this situation for Aries in March. Aries in March. And we have the Four of Wands reversed and the Two of Cups. I feel like there's some kind of transaction that was not ended, finished. There was some kind of, how to say this? I would say transaction. I don't know what exactly how to call it. I mean, just look. I don't know, it may be business, it may be whatever really. Mostly material, I think. Either way, there's something about something being exchanged and it's not being brought to the end, or just some kind of process of something happening and it's not brought to end, some kind of commitment that was not brought to the end, maybe not exactly to the end, more likely maybe just delayed in this kind of sense. Denied or not finished. Some kind of commitment you made, something you are committed to. It's either on delay or it will not come to the end in the month of March. Okay, but besides that going on, okay, and I also see that because of this thing not coming to the end in the March, it will stop you from moving forward with whatever it is. Like, it will obviously not have maybe necessarily of a positive effect on you, or very negative, but this thing is on the delay or this thing is not happening. Maybe it isn't necessary about this thing in the negative sense, not coming to the end or being delayed. More likely maybe it just taking more than it was supposed to take. But either way, there's definitely something from the past stopping you from starting this new beginning, some kind of loss maybe you experienced or something you are sad about. But yeah, definitely a feeling of loss. And it is stopping you from starting this new beginning. It's kind of holding you on because maybe you still kind of hold on to that. And this is what is stopping you from moving forward. Yeah, you just have like those doubts, like maybe you should wait and see if it will come back or something like that. Yeah, you know what I mean. This kind of thinking. However, let's see. Let's get more clarification on that. Those are new cards, so I may need a book, but let's hope not. Let's see, what is there in March for Aries? What is there in March for Aries? What is there in March for Aries? What kind of energy? What is happening in March for Aries? March for Aries, Sun and Rising. March. March for Aries. What is the energy coming in? March for Aries. Okay. And we have the Nine of the Nine of Wands and the Star. Okay. Nine of Wands and Star. Let's see. Okay, what I'm getting is I feel like your stability was kind of like how to say this. I feel like with the Star, I feel like the only thing, like all of the circumstances maybe in your life are changing, but the only thing that is stable is your kind of faith in it kind of working out. Let's see, let's get more clarification on that for Aries for March. What is more clarification we can get for Aries for March? More clarification. What is happening in March for Aries? Okay, we have the Prince of Discs. What else is there? Okay, wait. I feel like there's definitely change coming, but as I said, I feel like there's something blocking it. There's definitely change coming, but there's some lack of stability that is in particular blocking it. And to let this change in, you have to become more stable in it. If that makes sense. And I feel like what you will mostly need for it is this kind of hope, this kind of opportunity, and seeing those opportunities on the way. Having faith in it. Let me check this Prince of Discs. Okay. I feel like what is important is that she will understand more than you need. Like, it's important for you that you look more outside of what it is that you want or you focus on. Because if you are focusing only on this one thing you want, or you aim at, you don't see anything around you, or you don't see the opportunities in things around you. So I feel like that is a very important thing, is to have this faith and see those opportunities, because there might be around you some kind of things that might really help you in gaining back this stability. I feel like you'll be so fixed on these things going on the maybe this loss or this things not necessarily working out or being on the delay, that you will not see maybe or even a reason for that. Maybe there is even a reason for that you might be not seeing. There's some kind of stability that you're lacking, so this change, this next step and new beginning can come into your life. And that's because you are so fixed only on this one thing and you don't see the rest of the world around you, the rest of your life. The rest even of yourself. I don't know how to say this. There's just this lack of seeing the opportunities around you, the lack of being more open and objective on the things around you, on the possibilities of changes, and maybe even you don't noticing those changes coming because you are only focused on this one thing. And you have to be more objective so you can see and be prepared and stable when the change will come. So you can expect this change in the first place, or not even expect, but be prepared for any kind of change. In this kind of sense. Okay? So let's get more clarification on that so we can understand it better. Let's get more clarification for that for Aries in the month of March. Okay? And we have the 4 of Swords and the 5 of Wands. Let's get one more card. Yeah, there just needs to be some kind of protection that you know you are stable before you can move into this new beginning that should be coming in. But because you are still holding on to this past or to this loss that you experienced, you are not able to move forward. Because maybe simply you were not prepared for this loss, but maybe there was a way. And you have to be prepared for it. And I actually think that's what you'll be working on in the month of March. You'll be working on preparing yourself for these sudden changes that might occur, so you can be prepared for it. You'll be kind of making up this tragedy, or rather just preparing yourself to be prepared for changes that may occur. But as I said, this lack of open-mindedness about the opportunities around you is what is kind of blocking you and your efforts towards it. Because you're focusing so much only on this one thing, you don't see the world around you. One more card of clarification for Aries. Oh, and we have 2. And you have the Ace of Discs and the Knight of Discs. Okay. Wow, so that is interesting. We have Prince of Discs, the Ace of Discs, and the Knight of Discs. Okay. That's nice. Under the Prince of Discs, I feel like maybe you're focusing too much on the material side of this situation you are in, instead of maybe the spiritual even side of it. Okay, and maybe that's what you should be focusing on in the month of March. Focusing more on the spiritual side, because maybe the not letting in the spiritual side and focusing all the time on the defense or the material stuff in the situation you are in, or in the marriages in the general, is kind of blocking you from this true potential of it. It's holding you back because maybe you think too materialistically about this. Either way, there's a possibility for you to kind of hold on to some kind of potential in your situation to act on some kind of possibility of gaining something material, of wealth, something like that. Not necessarily in that. I feel like more in the sense of your aim, goal you are working on, that you are focused on right now. But let me see this Knight of Discs. Yeah, as I said, there's just some kind of lack of objectivity about this. Like, I feel like there will be this obvious potential for taking a grasp of your goal or this thing you are looking and focusing on. But what you will be lacking is some kind of different kind of focus and or perspective on it that will block you from actually noticing it even, or using it in the right way. That's what I'm getting. There's just something mentally going on that is stopping you from seeing the true potential of this thing going on in your life. And it may be possibly because you are, as I said, still attached to this thing. And maybe you'll be so distracted by it that you'll be focusing only on the idea itself of gaining what you want without actually looking around you and looking for the opportunities for it. Either way, there's just some kind of mental block for you to notice how to use this properly. This lack of clarity about this. It is like working and working on it, but there is a much easier way to gain it if you just gain some kind of better clarity and understanding of this. Not even understanding, but a better kind of focus on it. So you can notice this situation in a better, more beneficial for you light. I feel like there's the problem going on here is that there needs to be made some kind of stability in your life that would prepare you from possible changes coming in the future, or obstacles. But instead of you focusing on that, there's more of a focus on defending yourself. So there's this constant focus going in preventing, going in defending yourself from possible obstacles, instead of adapting this work on your goal so that none of those obstacles can influence you. So it would be better for you to focus on adapting this aim and goal in a way that it would not be affected as much, or it will be already working in a way that would not be affected by those obstacles, rather than actually defending your aim or the way you work for this aim. So it's like working and defending it from the outside obstacles And I feel like it will prevent the growth and movement in it, because you'll be focusing your whole energy in defending it, in protecting yourself from outside obstacles in that, or changes even. I mean, it doesn't have to be negative, but just changes. And I feel like the better way to go about this, if it would to do just change the aim you're working on, or whatever it is going on, or you just in overall changing whatever it is in your life, so it will be adaptable to changes. So you can focus on working on it and not worrying about it being influenced by changes. That's a very important thing. That's why there's this spiritual side that is not there and that is blocking the further movement of it. The spiritual objective on it is lacking. Not even the spiritual, more opportunist, if that's the word, objective on it. More of a better understanding and outlook on the situation that is blocking it. Because you're focusing so much on this material kind of way of thinking about this. And you rather like work and work and work, and instead of actually working smarter than harder in that kind of sense. So that's a very interesting and actually deep message behind this. Okay, let's get some clarification that will be helpful. Clarification for Aries for March. That will be helpful for Aries for March. And we have a Three of Wands. We have the Seven of Wands. And we have what? And we have a Hierophant. Okay. Okay, what I got, first of all, is I feel like you will be waiting for taking the next step. Or rather, not like that. What I got is mostly like it will be better for you to wait for opportunity to come your way rather than work on it in that kind of sense. And I feel like there will be opportunity coming in for you in the March, and so it will be better for you to use it rather than still working. It will maybe demand from you to change and adapt your planner aims to this opportunity, but I feel like it will be a more better way to deal with that. So it's better for you to use the opportunities that you already have around you. So it isn't maybe about the opportunity coming your way, but it's more about the using the opportunities you already have around you to take this next step. Instead of constantly working on it and working, instead of using the opportunities you have around you. Yeah, because at this point I feel like you're standing in place and waiting for who knows what. Maybe the miracles and like the opportunities are already there, but you are just basically not seeing them. I feel like there's just this need for more of a spiritual vision, perspective on it with this Hierophant and the Star. I feel like there just needs to be this higher perspective on all of it. So that's a very important thing, to look at it from more of a spiritual perspective, not necessarily spiritual, I would say just more like objective, more like just higher perspective on it, rather than just material and just working and who knows what. That would be really helpful for you, to look at it from more of a spiritual, higher perspective, more of a opportunist kind of thinking. let's see what is the spiritual meaning behind the month of March. What is the spiritual meaning for the month of March for the Aries? What is the spiritual meaning that comes with March for Aries? We have the Six of Swords and the Two of Swords. Again, this is telling me that is the card of basically being objective, so you can get the best outcome in your situation. It's kind of letting go, I would say, with this Six of Swords. It's like by letting go and kind of letting go of attachment to this aim or situation, you'll be opening up yourself more into the possibilities of the situation. But because you are so attached to this situation or this thing going on in your life, you are not able to see it objectively. And the way to do it is to maybe not necessarily disconnect yourself from it, but just let go. Just let go, okay? And not in the sense to not care about this anymore, but in the sense to just let go so you can see more possibilities about this. Or maybe adapt this plan. Maybe you are so attached to it that you don't want to change it or do whatever about this. But maybe the way to go is to let go and see. And then maybe it will be easier for you to let go of this attachment and let yourself edit this this goal or this thing you are working on, or maybe even the way you work on it, maybe it's about the way you work on it. It's just like I feel like there's this deep need of taking a step back and just letting go, like the going with the flow, not being attached to it. And then the other opportunities, everything will come your way once you like the ideas, the creativity will come your way if you let go, because you will not keep yourself in this little box trying to just work and move it. Instead, it will be just free. Everything will come your way, thoughts, ideas, creativity, as you will let go of it, and you'll be ready to what is the word? If you'll be ready to edit it in some way, play with it somehow, and that will bring you out of objectivity that is needed for the good of this case, of this situation that is going on. I feel like it's important, and it will come to the best if you will let go and try to see and play with the idea itself. Because I feel like the more harder you try to work for it and more stubborn you try to be in this frame, in this cage of this idea, coming out and being proceeding in it with it in a certain way, the more slower it's going, because you are closing yourself off from all the opportunities around you and all of the influences and ideas around you that are coming in. So it's important for you that you will open up for those ideas by letting go of this attachment to this thing. For the best of this, for the best outcome of it. Let's see one more card of spiritual message behind this month. And we have the Animal of Soul. Okay, so it's basically telling me about the enemy of some kind of obstacle, but you know what this obstacle is, or you have to know it before you can deal with it. I feel like the point of it is that maybe you work so hard on this thing that you already know it so well. So now that you know it, it will be easier for you to edit it when you let go. Because you already know it, because you are in this cage of this idea so long. I don't say long, but I feel like you already know this situation you are in enough, because you worked on it, because you are kind of in this frame of it, not seeing anything behind this. So you have to like open up for those new ideas, and I feel like it will bring you a lot of benefits from it, because you already know this situation you are in. if that makes any sense. But okay, let's see what is the guidance, spiritual guidance that will be helpful for Aries in the month of March. Spiritual guidance that will be helpful for Aries in the March. What would be helpful? What would be the most helpful thing for Aries in March? Okay, that's a lot, okay, once again, okay, we have the Three of Nature, the Union, and the High Priestess. Okay, wow, okay. Yeah, as I said, again, there's out of stability. There's out of about stability coming in here. About you being able to adapt something in a certain way, like it's basically the meaning of this card. Like, you adapt to it so you can kind of feel it, but you don't get how to say this? I don't know how to say this. It's important for you. Okay, so guidance for you, Aries, for the month of March is to be in that situation, be in that goal, still care for it, but in the way that you don't identify yourself with this goal, in the way that it doesn't control you, in the way that you control it and you adapt it to yourself rather than you adapting yourself to that goal. That's actually a very important message. That sounds like a very good idea in this case. The keeping this calmness in you. So it isn't this thing that is controlling you, the situation that is controlling you due to the changes, but it is you who is controlling this thing due to changes, if that makes any sense. Also, it's about stability. There's also about stability. Either way, I have there's a feel like this need for coming back to the whole. I feel like maybe you were lately so focused on this situation going on in your life, whatever it might be, but you just forgot, as I said, about this whole world around you. That's why, as I said, you are not maybe able to use the full potential of it, because you are too attached to it. You care too much about this, in this type of sense, but you don't see anything above it. So it's important for you that you come back to everything around you going on, to people, to situations. Just, it's about coming back to the whole, okay? To, going out of this your own bubble of a situation and you being controlled by it, and rather seeing it as something that is not you, like not identifying yourself necessarily with this. Like, it isn't the most important thing and right now, maybe. I mean, maybe it is, but the because you see it that way, you aren't able to use the full potential out of it. And you have a High Priestess, which is, again, spiritual kind of perspective, higher perspective on it, looking more from the spiritual perspective on it. So whatever the spiritual perspective might mean for you, you can use this information however you want. Either way, I feel like there's this need for higher perspective on it, spiritual perspective, more like feeling-based perspective. There's out of about feeling, there's out of about going with the flow, like letting go and focusing on more important things, because I feel like this case has a lot of connection with material stuff, and I feel like it's important for you that you distance yourself from it so you can focus on your feelings and what is going inside of you actually. It might be very helpful, I feel like. Okay, let's see. Let's pull out two cards of advice, message for you, Aries, for the month of March, for your own interpretation. So Aries in March. March for Aries. What is the advice message? We have if you believe. This is for your own interpretation. And one more advice message for Aries. Message advice for Aries for March. And you have clear communication. Okay. So, if you believe and clear communication. Okay. So that's all I have for you, Aries, for this month. I hope it resonated. I hope your month is going great. Let me know how is your month going. And thank you so much for watching. I hope you will have a great month. Take care. Thank you so much. Bye bye.